Have you ever argued with a friend over the color of a dress, or stared bewildered at an optical illusion, questioning the very evidence of your eyes? We rely on our senses to navigate the world, but what happens when our senses deceive us? This is where the intriguing philosophy of empiricism comes in. Empiricism grapples with the fundamental question: how do we acquire knowledge? Is it through innate ideas, divine revelation? Or could it be that our senses hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe? Imagine staring at a spinning spiral that tricks your brain into seeing motion where there is none. These illusions serve as stark reminders that our perception of reality is not always accurate. They challenge us to question whether seeing is truly believing. This exploration of our senses and their connection to knowledge forms the heart of empiricism. Empiricism at its core is the philosophical idea that all knowledge originates from sensory experience. It posits that we are born without any inherent knowledge, like a blank slate, and it is through our interactions with the world that we gather information and form our understanding. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't start with preconceived notions of what a house should look like. Instead, you would gather materials, experiment with designs, and learn from your successes and failures. Similarly, empiricists believe that knowledge is constructed through observation, experimentation, and the constant refinement of our understanding based on new evidence. This emphasis on sensory experience distinguishes empiricism from other schools of thought, like rationalism, which argues that reason is the primary source of knowledge. By grounding itself in the tangible, empiricism provides a powerful framework for understanding how we come to know what we know. The roots of empiricism can be traced back to ancient Greece, with Aristotle, who, while not strictly an empiricist, emphasized the importance of observation in understanding the natural world. However, it was during the Age of Enlightenment that empiricism truly flourished. John Locke, a 17th century English philosopher, is considered one of the founding fathers of empiricism. Locke argued that our minds are blank slates at birth, devoid of any innate ideas. He believed that all our knowledge is derived from sensory experience and the reflections we make on those experiences. George Berkeley, an Irish philosopher, further developed empiricism by questioning the existence of a mind-independent reality. He argued that to be is to be perceived, suggesting that objects only exist insofar as they are perceived by a mind. David Hume, a Scottish philosopher, took empiricism to its logical extreme. He argued that even our ideas of causality and self are derived from sensory experiences and habits of association, challenging the very foundations of traditional metaphysics. Section 4. Empiricism in action, from test tubes to touchscreens. Empiricism is not just an abstract philosophical concept. It forms the bedrock of many disciplines and permeates our daily lives. In science, empiricism is the guiding principle behind the scientific method. Scientists develop hypotheses based on observations, design experiments to test their hypotheses, and draw conclusions based on the empirical evidence collected. From testing the efficacy of new drugs to understanding the behavior of subatomic particles, empiricism enables us to explore the universe systematically and build a reliable body of knowledge. Beyond the laboratory, we employ empirical thinking in our everyday lives. Imagine you're trying to learn a new recipe. You wouldn't just read the ingredients list and expect to become a master chef. You would follow the instructions, measure the ingredients, observe the cooking process, and perhaps even experiment with different flavors and techniques. This iterative process of trial and error, guided by sensory feedback, is empiricism in action. Section 5. Can our senses deceive us? Questioning empiricism. While empiricism provides a powerful framework for understanding knowledge, it is not without its critics. One of the main criticisms leveled against empiricism is the problem of sensory deception. As we saw with optical illusions, our senses can be tricked, leading us to perceive the world inaccurately. Moreover, our individual experiences and biases can color our perceptions, making it difficult to achieve truly objective observations. Critics also point out that empiricism struggles to account for knowledge that seems to go beyond sensory experience, such as abstract concepts like mathematics or morality. How can we derive the concept of infinity or justice solely from our senses? These questions highlight the limitations of empiricism and the ongoing debate about the nature of knowledge. In the digital age, the rise of artificial intelligence and virtual reality has further complicated our understanding of sensory experience. If we can create simulated worlds that are indistinguishable from reality, what does it even mean to have a real experience? These questions challenge the very foundations of empiricism and force us to reconsider the relationship between our senses, technology, and the nature of reality itself. Section 6. The Empiricist in the Machine: A Lasting Legacy. Despite its limitations, empiricism remains a cornerstone of modern thought, shaping our understanding of knowledge, science, and the human experience. It encourages us to approach the world with curiosity, to question our assumptions, and to ground our beliefs in evidence. As we navigate an increasingly complex world, saturated with information and misinformation, the empiricist's toolkit of critical thinking, skepticism, and a reliance on evidence becomes even more crucial. So the next time you encounter a mind-bending optical illusion, don't just marvel at the trickery. See it as an opportunity to engage with the enduring questions of empiricism. How do we know what we know? Can we trust our senses? And how can we use our experiences to build a more accurate and meaningful understanding of the universe and our place within it?